Hey guys, I'm Greg. Welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Let's go see what's in the fridge today, guys. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer comes from Treehouse Brewing. These guys are out of Boston, Massachusetts. This is their Pride and Purpose, and according to the can here, it says an American Pale Ale. Alcohol by volume is 5.1%, so a very low ABV offering from these guys. And it's a pale ale, not an IPA, so it shouldn't have a very strong bitterness to the beer. So this was sent to me by my buddy Greg, and he sent a little note here saying the same thing. An APA coming in at 5.1%. So a lot of alcohol beer for them. So that's the info that he has sent here. Basically the same thing that I've just told you. So let's get on with this. Commercial description on this one says, we are pleased to introduce a new occasional offering in the Treehouse Pale Ale lineup, Pride and Purpose, as we marvel at the land in Charlton being transformed from a brushy landscape into a space of future identity and creativity for the Treehouse. We find ourselves imagining the type of beers we'd like to enjoy after a hard shift on the mezzanine overlooking the new brewery. To that end, Pride and Purpose is crafted to be soft, juicy, and low alcohol offering that exhibits balanced hop saturation and an appropriate bitterness to entice your next sip. Brewed simply with pale malt, galaxy hops, and a hint of citra, we taste flavors of pineapple, orange, passion fruit with grapefruit pith finish. A medium-bodied and hints of doughy malt provide balance and elegance. It is a simple beer that reinforces our ongoing sense of focus and intent, that serves an acknowledgement that without your support, none of this would be possible. So they're producing this to be an low ABV beer, and evidently these guys are doing pretty well because it sounds like they're expanding. So that's a good thing. So maybe some of the rest of us will probably be able to get some of this. Kind of doubt it. There's such a demand for that, and people waiting in lines a lot of times, from what I hear at these breweries up there, that they're just going to get a bigger line. So we can just all hope for the best, and maybe they'll start distributing it one of these days. So that's all we need to talk about. I don't have the IBUs listed anywhere for this beer, but like I said, it's a pale ale, so it shouldn't be super bitter. So while I get this thing opened up, I'll tell you the cuisine is Japan Asian. The cheeses are earthy, camembert, fontina, your nutty cheeses, Asiago, Colby, Parmesan, and it looks fairly carbonated, so I better be fairly easy here. Brick Adam feta, and the meat is poultry, glass bar to pint, Becker Nonic tumbler mug, San Seidel. I got my favorite tulip glass today, again, and not recommend for extended salaries. That's about all we're going to try to get in there right now. Very cloudy, guys. It looks very typical of the beers they produce. Very, very cloudy. Not quite, it's a deeper orange color. Doesn't look like orange juice, but it is very, very cloudy. Looks like a dirty orange juice, if you will. Nice finger of head on that pour. Let's get the nose to it. It smells like an IPA, guys. It really does. I've got grapefruit and pineapple. Hints of oranges in there, maybe some melon. Smells very good. Smells very much like a very hoppy beer, a hoppy pale or a hoppy IPA. Wonderful aroma. Well, first beer of the day. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Greg. Very light on the palate. Very soft. Very easy drinking, 5.1%. I guess you would call this their session beer or their lawnmower beer, if you will. Something you could have one and go back to what you were doing. I don't know if I'd have two, because this is about your average beer range, whether you're drinking this or a Budweiser or a Miller or, God forbid, one of those macro lagers. But it's about it. It's not down into the 3s or 4% where you could have maybe two of them. But a low ABV beer, or I should say lower than what they typically do. To me, guys, there are some nice flavors there, but the flavors are a little bit more subdued in intensity than they normally are from these guys. They're a little bit on the mellower side, or I should say watered down side. They're not super intense like what they typically do. So, well, let's try it out of the fridge. Let's let it warm up and let her have a sip or two or three, and we'll come back and see where she ends up. Alright, I'm back. Got just a little left here. Awesome lacing is left on the glass, guys. And the bottom of the can's got Keep Cold, Be Fresh. February 17th of 2017, and today is the 26th. 11 days old. Pretty damn fresh. Pretty awesomely fresh. A great beer, guys. Very well done in the lower ABV version, not being an IPA. Very easy drinking, doesn't have a big bitterness. It'd be a great beer to get into something a little hoppier without all that bitterness on the back end that the IPAs are going to have. So, a great transitional beer to get into something with a little bit more hoppiness without all the bitterness. Wonderful aroma on this beer, guys. Very well done. Not getting any alcohol at all, 5.1%. Very light on the palate. Very subdued hop profile. It's there, it's strong in the aroma, but the taste, compared to what they typically do, is a little muted, a little mellower. So, excellent beer though. Not a chug. A very sessionable beer to me, guys. Very tasty too on top of that. A great lawnmower beer from these guys, if you will. Something you could have and go back to what you were doing and not be too inebriated where you couldn't function. So, very nice. Very, very, very nice. Guys, for me, 9 out of 10 on this one. Definitely an A beer. Numeric rating on this one would probably be 97. That's where I'm going to put this. And if you say, oh man, it's a 10 beer, I wouldn't argue with that. It is, especially if you like this lighter style of a beer, even though it has a big hop presence, but they're a little subdued, little muted to me, a little watered down to me, but still very tasty. Let's run over to Beer Advocate, and they say 92, outstanding, is an A beer. It is an outstanding beer, guys. Rate Beer has it at 98 overall, 99 in the style, and our final check-in at Untapped has it at 4.24. So it's A's all around, guys. It's a very delicious beer, a very nice beer. So Greg, once again, my brother, I do appreciate you sending this to me. I know these guys don't distribute at either Treehouse or Trillium, so you probably had to go to the brewery, and hopefully you didn't have to stand in line. If you did, not too long, we'll wait and to pick these beers up. And I do appreciate you sending them to me, because these beers are highly sought after, especially from those two breweries. So very delicious, guys. If you've had this one from the Treehouse, this is their Pride and Purpose American Pale Ale. Let me know what you think. Come on back tomorrow. Let's dig something out of the fridge. See you then.